This is the Orioles Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Baltimore Orioles. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Everywhere you look, it's Orioles magic. Boy, this is getting fun. I'll tell you, these last few games, this last week, has really reinvigorated this fan base, this Orioles team. They're learning how to win. The young guys stepping up. Final score on this Tuesday night, 10:39 local time, East Coast. The Baltimore Orioles 4 and the Boston Red Sox 3 in 11 innings. Hello and welcome to the Baltimore Orioles Postcast here on the Locked On Podcast Network. My name is Luke Slabaugh. Who am I? I'm your post-game show host here exclusively for O's games. The Orioles have won 3 in a row, and they sweep the Red Sox in a quick 2-game set at Fenway Park. The O's improved to 4-5 in extra inning games, 8 games under 500, and now 18-18 in one-run games. They have a chance to leapfrog the Minnesota Twins in the wild card standings. Yeah, playoffs an aberration right now. However, we've got to talk about how great this game was. A bullpen that bent, never really broke, and Samuel Basallo coming up clutch. The O's are learning to win again, and that's what we're talking about.
This is what you'll be talking about.
By the way, if you're new here, we vote on the player of the game. Go ahead, leave a comment in the chat. If you're watching this on the replay, wherever you get your podcasts on demand for free, we stream these live to YouTube. This is why we do this. Gut reaction, right here in the moment. Orioles have now won 6 in a row. 6 of 7. The Baltimores have won 3 in a row, 6 of 7, dating back to that Mariners series, the Astros series, and this one came down to grit and tenacity. We go top 11. Jeremiah Jackson at second base, the automatic runner, right-hander Garrett Whitlock on the mound, and Dylan Carlson doing his job, moving the runner over in the first plate appearance of the inning. 96-mile-an-hour sinker. He rolls over on it to first baseman Abraham Toro, and Jackson is able to advance to third base. Alex Jackson, the 9-hole hitter, scheduled up, and Samuel Basallo, who was given most of the day off, comes in his biggest plate appearance yet in the major leagues. He's fooled at first, fouling off the first pitch, and then another strike makes it 0-2. Whitlock tries to fool him with the changeup in the dirt. This one 7 inches below the strike zone. Rather than taking it, Basallo, with an elite hit tool, goes down and plays Pepper, golfs this one out of the ground right in front of home plate. Jackson, with plus speed, is able to score Wong's only play. Connor Wong, the catcher, goes to first base. It's a go-ahead RBI, pretty much a squeeze bunt or a swinging bunt, if you will. And Samuel Basallo has driven in runs in all 3 games as a big leaguer. This one, his first game-winning RBI. Ryan Hughes, in 2010, the only other Orioles player with an RBI in his first 3 games. Leave it to right-hander Corbin Martin in the bottom of the 11th. Nate Eaton pinch running for Toro at second base as the automatic runner. Connor Wong laying down a sacrifice bunt to Luis Vasquez at third. First pitch curveball there. And then with Roman Anthony up, infield is in, looking to make the play at home. It's a 2-0 slider to Anthony. He hits it to medium depth left field. Colton Cowser camped under it, getting some momentum behind it. However, his throw is way offline and not particularly hard. If Nate Eaton at third base, the former Kansas City Royals triples merchant and legend, if he tags up and he's booking, I mean, there's no play at the plate. Kevin Brown on the Masson broadcast, incredulous. Why didn't he tag and score? So it's 2 outs. Alex Bregman at the plate. Falls behind 0-2. Martin then struggling to locate that strike 3. It is a full count. He gives Bregman what he's looking for. A 4-seam fastball high and in. And Bregman, the Astros World Series champion of yore, gets underneath it. Pops it up to Gunnar Henderson. Game over. 4-3 the final in 11. So back to the bullpen for a second. It comes down to the grit and tenacity of these players, their composure, because you have no defined roles here. You got a first-time big league manager playing musical chairs. It is no surprise that Cade Stroud had trouble getting outs tonight in a high-impact environment. You got a playoff caliber team in the Red Sox in front of a full crowd. That is where the crowd level meter, like you see in the video games, that meter is going off the chain. There's no surprise that Yarmil Geraldo struggles with his command in this environment. Both of these guys are rookies. Stroud's 27, Geraldo's 29. Geraldo was an independent ball last year. Geraldo would get along with the Gary South Shore Railcats. He would dominate that league. And here he is with good stuff in his first real road adversity moment. Attendance not an issue at Fenway Park. And so there's no surprise that in the ninth inning, Yarmil starts missing everything low. He's got a 3-1 lead bottom nine. O should have put this game away because up to this point, they were winning the battle of the bullpens. Romy Gonzalez walking on 5 pitches, missing low with everything. Nathaniel Lowe, recent waiver wire acquisition by the Red Sox, first baseman DH. First pitch fastball, 95 miles an hour in and low. Hits a home run to right center field, ties the game at 3. Lowe terrorized the O's this year when he was with the Nationals, had home runs in each of those series, one in Navy Yard and one at Camden. And Geraldo then loses all command, walks Roman Anthony, walks Alex Bregman, walks Jarren Duran. So 4 walks in this inning. Eventually on a 2-1 count, gets Trevor Story to ground out to Vasquez, a fielder's choice, 5-4 to end the inning. 34 pitches for Geraldo, 12 strikes. This was his first in over his skis moment. And the fact that Tony Mansolino kept him in and let him continue to progress through this, to work his way out of trouble, yeah, you blew the save. Now what? You can say the same for Cade Stroud, bottom of the 8th. Exact same scenario. Gives up a couple hits to Connor Wong and Roman Anthony. A wild pitch to put those runners in scoring position. Walks Alex Bregman. No outs. Who do you turn to? Rico Garcia, who strikes out 3 in a row. Insane stuff. 31-year-old in his second stint with the Orioles. Kind of a castaway from several organizations. Getting Jarren Duran on 3 straight changeups, who's out in front of them. Last one's outside. Trevor Story on a foul tip. A slider low at 87. And Masataka Yoshida behind 2-1 in the count. Garcia dangles a changeup for a swing and miss. And then a 2-2 count, a fastball low at 97 to get him striked out swinging. Claimed by the Orioles 2 weeks ago to the day, Enrico Garcia, of course, is going to have more composure than a rookie. He was built for that kind of moment. The Red Sox then, after the 8th inning, get booed onto the field because they can't deliver in those moments. Tomoyuki Sagano was robbed of his 11th win. The book on him this year has been he kind of eases his way in through the first couple innings, struggles with command here and there. Maybe his stuff isn't quite on point. And then after the 3rd inning is nails. And it was about settling in and working with traffic. The only knock on Sagano was his misinterpretation of the rules. Would love to hear from Tomo about his balk in the bottom of the 3rd. Connor Wong leads off a hanging cutter. He hits to left field for a single. And then a tailor-made ground ball, double play ball hit right to Jackson Holliday. He boots it to put runners at first and second. Alex Bregman flies out to Dylan Beavers. Nice shoestring catch there. Jarren Duran grounds out to Kobe Mayo. So 2 outs, runners on base. And with Trevor Story, the plate appearance starts with Sagano stepping off the mound. Midway through, he steps off the mound. And with Connor Wong at 3rd base, those runners having moved over on the ground out by Duran, with 2 disengagements, Connor Wong starts trailing down the 3rd base line towards home, starting to get in his line of sight, trying to tempt Sagano. No one is standing on 3rd base. There's no one to throw to. Luis Vasquez is playing off the bag with Trevor Story at the plate. And Sagano steps off and takes out his 3rd disengagement. And the one run that he gives up today is a balk. It's an unearned run. And granted, with Holiday booting that ball, it was going to be unearned anyway. Then he gets Trevor Story to ground out to Gunnar Henderson to end the inning. It's kind of much ado about nothing. First balk of Sagano's pro career, 35 years old. And he finishes strong after that. Gets Connor Wong to ground out on a sweeper outside the bottom of the fifth. Finally gets Roman Anthony to fly out to Colton Cowser on a four-seam fastball middle in. And then Alex Bregman to fly out to Cowser as well on a sinker low and in. Sagano's final inning, the fifth, is a 1-2-3 inning. Go ahead, leave your comments in the chat. We fly through this Orioles postcast. We're going to leave a little bit more for Connor tomorrow. I could wax poetic about Tomo. He did great. Fastball touching 95, striking out Yoshida there in the bottom of the first with the splitter outside. Getting Toro to end the second with the splitter. 12 pitches in that second inning. A lot of good stuff. Coming up, we'll talk about the plate approach. We're going to award our player of the game. We'll let you take a vote here in the comments. If you're driving, say it out loud. Scream it to the heavens. And some injury news. Why Adley Rutschman was absent from the lineup today. This is the Orioles postcast. Stick with us. Oh, yeah, this show is brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. August 26th is FanDuel Futures Day. It's a brand new holiday for football fans who live for bold predictions and preseason hunches. For just 24 hours, FanDuel is giving you deals on NFL season predictions. So whether you're calling your MVP, eyeing a long shot division winner, or ready to crown your Super Bowl champ before week one even kicks off, this is your moment. Let's take a flyer on the MVP race. Joe Burrow, perhaps? Nah, it's Lamar. It's got to be. Between Lamar and Jaden Daniels, two of the elite athletes, two of the best the DMV has ever seen, or two of the best that Maryland has ever seen, if you don't ascribe to the Ravens and Baltimore being a part of the DMV. That's your opinion, not mine. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your future bet now. Because Futures Day is one day and one day only. FanDuel, play your game. Show is also brought to you by PrizePicks, daily fantasy platform that lets you turn your football predictions into real rewards. Preseason is a heating up. I can't wait to get in on one of these squad shows on the Locked On Podcast Network. I bet you do. I bet you like Locked On Ravens. I bet you like Locked On Commanders. If you don't, missing out. Whether you got your eye on big-name quarterbacks or breakout running backs, PrizePicks makes it easy to get in the game. The flex play option is a total game changer. Even when one of your picks misses, you still have a chance to double your money. PrizePicks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. Download the PrizePicks app today and use the code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 in lineups after your first $5 play. PrizePicks, run your game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Samuel Basallo, without question, to be able to have nerves of steel in that moment, extra innings, 3 games into your big league career, and be unfazed. Samuel Basallo is evolving right in front of our eyes. Not going for the big hit. Not trying to do too much. He gets a ball that he knows he can hit. All he's got to do is advance a runner, bring him home. Bring Jeremiah Jackson home. Samuel Basallo is your player of the game, and would have loved to have seen him for longer. You saw shots of him in the dugout if you watched the game attached to the hip of Trevor Rogers. Perhaps a future battery mate that will have much success. Trevor Rogers, a 4-WAR player now, according to Baseball Reference. For the first 5 or 6 innings of this game, good plate approach. Walked several times, 7 the final tally for the Orioles compared to 12 strikeouts, and made right-hander Walker Buehler labor through 4+ innings. And those first 4 innings, 67 pitches, had 3 walks in those frames, had a runner on every inning through 6. And they had their chances early. Unfortunately, they couldn't capitalize in the second. Couple of full counts that could have pushed this game over the edge and really stepped on Buehler's throat. In the top of the second, Colton Cowser leads off, runs the count full and walks. Mayo runs the count full. Kobe Mayo strikes out on a cutter. Cowser then stealing second base with Dylan Beavers lining out. Then Dylan Carlson works a 3-2 count and walks. So 4 batters faced in Walker Buehler's at 21 pitches for the inning. 2 outs. Alex Jackson in the 9-hole on a 3-1 count lights up on a fastball outside at 94. Unfortunately, he rolls over on it, grounds out to the shortstop Trevor Story to put a nothing burger on the board, a goose egg after 26 pitches. That's kind of what we saw out of the Orioles' plate approach earlier this season, making them work, not cashing in those runs. Adley Rutschman was scratched from the original lineup today with right abdominal discomfort. The report from Masson is that he felt it during batting practice and stopped. Unfortunate that Adley Rutschman cannot get with it, cannot get in the rhythm now that the lineup is mostly healthy. Jordan Westberg also with ankle discomfort sitting out today. The bench was limited. Luis Vazquez with the season OPS of 226, batting in the 2-hole where Jordan Westberg belongs. And the bench to that point, Jeremiah Jackson, who later came in and filled in for Dylan Beavers in right field, and Samuel Basallo pinch hitting for Alex Jackson in that pivotal 11th inning. The best inning for the O's plate approach, and the last hit that they got was in the top of the 5th. Walker Buehler starting this inning, top of the 5th. Jackson Holiday gets a high cutter at 89 miles an hour, hits it off the monster for a double. First leadoff hit of the game for the O's. They had Cowser reach on a walk in the second, but a first leadoff hit, get a runner in scoring position. And Buehler starts to get erratic. He gets behind 3-0 on Luis Vazquez. Glove first player, walks him on 4 pitches. First career walk for Vazquez. And that's when manager Alex Cora has said enough for the Red Sox. He puts in left-hander Justin Wilson, surprised he is still around. Former Chicago Cubs legend. Gets Gunnar Henderson to line out on a slider in the heart of the plate. And then Ryan Mountcastle in the cleanup spot, confusingly, falls behind 1-2, and then turns on a slider inside at 87. 76-mile-an-hour exit velo, lofted into left field, and ties the game 1-1. Colton Cowser then works the count to 2-2 against Wilson, lefty against lefty. He drives a 2-base hit off the monster. Another run scores, makes it 2-1. Luis Vazquez, come on home. Right-hander Greg Weissert then comes in, strikes out Kobe Mayo. And then Dylan Beavers up at the plate, 1-1 count, changeup in the dirt from Weissert. Bounces off of Connor Wong's mask. Tried to pick the ball, and it came up and hit him in the noggin. Bounces away. Mountcastle bounces home. Makes it 3-1. And that was the last hit. The Orioles eke across a run in extra innings after Colton Cowser's double. That was the last thing they had going for him. After that, nothing. The O's carry on, and they will take tomorrow off, a well-deserved day off for you and for me. They've won 3 in a row. How do I keep forgetting to put this on? For those of you new here on the channel, new covenant, when the O's win 3 games in a row, I have to wear this. I get to wear this. I love it. O's are off tomorrow, and then it's Thursday, a nationally televised game on Fox. 7:15 first pitch on your local Fox affiliate if you're on the East Coast. I believe it's just restricted to the East Coast. Anyone here watch Fox 45 in Baltimore? There's your chance. Get it, catch the local news. The starters for that series are TBD. It is the Astros, a 3-game set, and if they followed the rotation order, you would have Brandon Young, Cade Povich, and Dean Kramer again. Unsure if that's how they're going to do it, considering those were the 3 starters that just pitched down in Dyken Park. However, that's great. The O's are cruising, having won 6 of 7. Sweep the Boston Red Sox in a quick 2-game set. The final score tonight, the Baltimore Orioles 4 and the Boston Red Sox 3 in 11 innings. Good night. Stay safe. Stay floppy. I will see you right back here Thursday night.